Hey MENTED family, Kristina, Angelina here, and we are going to be sharing this look today. So holidays are right around the corner. Time really flew, right? So I want to share this look with you guys. It is a smoky eye holiday tutorial, and we're really going to get into this look. Clean, flawless skin using nothing but MENTED, of course. Absolutely love all their products, and sometimes I can't help myself but get too into it in this video, so bear with me. I'm gonna share with you all my tips and tricks on using all the products and how to get this smoky eye with a bit of shimmer for the holidays, and I really hope you guys love it. So let's jump right into it. At the moment, I have absolutely no makeup on. I think this is a great way also for you to see the power of the foundations and all the base products that we'll be using. So right now I just have a moisturizer and a good primer that's really going to seep into my skin while I go ahead and start with the eyes. Starting off, our first product will be the Every Night eyeshadow palette. I absolutely love the palette. It is perfect even for daytime, nighttime, but these shades are absolutely stunning. The pigment is amazing. You can get a lot of looks from this one palette. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take a very fluffy brush, and I'm going to go in with the shade Houston. It is a very light shade, but I want this shade to pack onto the entirety of my eyelid and crease. Taking that color Houston, I'm just going to buff that into all over my eye, really, with a fluffy brush. Mattify the eyelid and just make our colors blend way easier. And we're gonna use this color, still with a fluffy brush, into our crease. See how pigmented that is? And you want a light hand when working with these shadows. If you go ahead and press right into your crease, that spot is gonna get the most pigment and it's gonna be a little bit harder to blend in. So with a light hand, you just want windshield wipers. And go ahead and increase the intensity to your liking. So let's go ahead and move on to our lid color. I'm looking for a bit of a gradient here. I want to go to Atlanta and pack that on to the lid. Since we don't want it too defined, we still kind of want like a blown out look, I am going to go in with a fluffy but a flatter shader brush. You can pack on that pigment, but it won't be still too defined. And you're just gonna pack that onto the lid ever so slightly, and you're gonna keep it on the lid. Now, very lightly, I want you to blend whatever's left on your brush a little bit higher into your crease. Going in with our shade Harlem, our darkest, we're going to put that as close to the bottom of the eyelid possible. You can use a smaller eyeshadow brush, maybe a liner, maybe a pencil brush, but you want to keep it as low as possible. Go ahead with your big fluffy brush and let's blend out our crease. Now go ahead in with Houston again, ever so slightly into the crease. So here's how our eyes look at the moment. You have a bit of a gradient, really nice and blended out, but we're not done yet. We still got a few more things to do. So let's go ahead and move on to our eyebrows. So we have our high brow precision pencil. I have the shade Brow You Know. I just love how skinny the pencil is. It just really helps to get yourself some brow-like hair strokes. So I don't do too much filling in. Take this time to do your brows the way you like them, but I have a lot of eyebrow hairs, and if I'm going too much, they look a little bit too thick. So what I like to do is, of course, I like to brush them out, kind of set up my shape for me. And then I will underline here, right in the very front, just to give it some definition. And then I just, in any sparse areas, I'll give myself a couple of strokes. But see how that could get real thick real quick? So using this spoolie, you just go ahead and brush it in, and it blends right into the skin, into your hairs, and it just gives it a more cleaner look. So my brows are done. On to my next favorite part, the face. Now, these foundations are absolutely gold. You can see all my hyperpigmentation. I have some acne marks, some blemishes. I've got some active acne right here on my forehead, and just overall uneven skin. So my shades are L10 and L20. Now, I use L10 as my overall foundation shade. So this shade suits me extremely well. And then I like to go 1 to 2 shades darker for contour. So this is the L20 shade. As you can see, it's just a smidge darker, nothing too extreme, because I like my contour to be on the more natural side. Sometimes I want to go a little bit deeper for a little bit more definition, but these two are my go-tos, and the way this formula is, it doesn't look cakey whatsoever. So let's start on this side. Perfect skin tone match, perfect match. I really like how it hides all the redness, all my blemishes, and it still looks like skin. It is on the more dewy satin side. Overall, the foundation, the coverage is just phenomenal. So just with that layer, my face is much more even. My redness is gone. You can even see under my eye that coverage though. Let's go in with a contour. This is the L20. Applying to the top of your cheekbone is gonna give you more of a snatch face, as opposed to before where we used to put it in the hollows of our cheeks. It just makes our cheekbones appear a little bit higher to give us a little bit more snatchicism. So I'm gonna apply this on my nose. Anywhere you want to contour, it's up to you. So again, same brush, blend that in, and give yourself some warmth and some dimension. So our next step is powders. So if you are someone who is very oily, or maybe you deal with a lot of creasing, then you would go in with a powder to set your makeup. So from this point, I would use my loose setting powder, my Silk Setting Loose Powder, and this is in the shade Light Tan. This is perfect for me. I even like to use the darker shade to actually contour as well. But I am going to set my face with this one right here. And using my MENTED brush, this is the powder brush, super soft, glides onto the skin. And this powder is my absolute go-to powder for setting, especially under the eyes. It just gives you such a smooth look under the eyes and really helps prevent a lot of creasing. And I'm gonna go in first with my T-zone, because that's especially where I can get a little bit oily, and as you can see, I have some shine there, and I'm gonna show you now. You see my forehead? Watch that just completely mattify. Look at that. And it just looks so smooth. So smooth. It doesn't look like I have any powder on. Put some under the eye. You want to make sure when you apply to under the eye that you've patted out any creasing you may have, and then apply your powder. And I like to tap it in. I don't like too much to just rub it in. I don't want to move the foundation or any product I already have on my face. Just want to pat that in. It looks like my skin but better. My pores aren't emphasized. There's no filter on. It feels like I have a filter on, but no. My MENTED is my filter. So next, sticking with powders, I want to go in with some contour. So I do have two with me here. I have the bronzer powders in Beach Bum and Vacay. As you can see, one is much lighter, one is much darker. I feel like this is kind of my skin tone already. So I am going to go in with a light hand on Vacay, and I'm going to use the Mented Angle brush. So I'm actually going to start from up here. You never want to start down here. You don't want so much pigment there. So I'm going to start up here ever so lightly. And you can already see that pigment there. And if you ever feel like, whoa, that first one was a lot already, there might be a lot on the brush, put it on the back of your hand and make sure you're gonna get an easy blendable application of whatever shadows you're using or whatever shades, whether it be a bronze or a blush. Sometimes you need to work in that product into the bristles so that you don't get such a harsh application, because that's where you're going to spend a lot of time blending. And you just intensify that to what you want. And don't worry, we're still going back to the eyes. We're not done with the eyes yet. And I'm going to just blend up whatever I have left onto the forehead. If you want to add a little bit more, go ahead and add a little bit more. Let's go back to our eyes. Grab your every night eyeshadow palette. And what I want to do now is I want to work on the bottom lid. Now that our base is complete, we didn't want to do our bottom lash line with makeup and then blend that all the way with the foundation, the concealer, etc. And I want you to run that right on the lower lash line. Do whatever face you need to get that on there. I had plenty of pigment on this one. And you're just gonna blend that out. It looks a little bit more red on camera, but it's definitely giving more of a maroon. So keep that in mind. You can also switch up the color. Go with a lighter color if you don't want so much of a smoke on the bottom. And then with the brush that we used, Harlemin, I'm gonna keep this right by the lash line. So then with your fluffy brush that has Houston on it, the lightest shade, you're just gonna go in there and blend all that in. Now you can stop here, not the whole look, but for as far as eyeshadow goes. Or you could take one of these stunning shimmery shades and place that right in the center of the lid. It will draw so much attention to that lid, and you just want to keep it in the center. So let's say I go in with, I think I'm gonna do New Orleans, and I'm actually gonna go ahead with my finger, and I'm gonna put that right in the center. Look at that nice gleam to the eye. I'm gonna do that here too. You've given yourself a halo smoky eye at this point. So you could have stopped at having the matte eye or throw on a little bit of shimmer for a little pizzazz. Now we are going in with Long Live the Lash mascara. Absolutely love this mascara. So here's a quick trick, is you want to start at the base and you want to curl. You want to rotate the wand. Buried away some love on these cheeks. Again, you can use any of the brushes. You can use the angled brush for this as well. And I'm just gonna tap into it ever so slightly. And I'm gonna keep it right in this area. Yes, very happy with this choice. Let's do some highlighter. So for highlighting, again, I swear these brushes can be used for a million different things. I'm going in with the highlighter palette. I think I'm gonna go with this one, and I believe this is Glow Up. I think this is Glow Up. Tip of the nose, Cupid's bow. Get ready for our lip coming up. So as usual, I can't decide. I cannot decide on color. This is Dope Tout. Ooh, I think I like this one. Okay, I know I keep saying last but not least, but grab your setting spray. You want to make all that work last all day long. And here is your holiday smoky eye look. I think it came out really nice. You're just gonna look absolutely stunning. You're gonna look amazing. You're gonna look like you did your makeup for an hour, but it literally only took 15 minutes. I promise you, it should not take any longer than 10 to 15 minutes for you to put this look together. I'm just chatty Kathy, and I like to share all my tips and tricks with you guys and how much I love these products. So I really hope that you guys have an amazing holiday, and let me know what your favorite Mented product is.